golden hour glow. I'm feeling alright, sun on my face. Sky's blue, so bright. Every move a spark, every step ignite. Golden hour glow, yeah, I'm taking flight. Inbox full of good news, headline shine. Local hero, new garden, yo, that's the vibe. Scrolling home, every story redesigned. Timeline detox.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Lunchtime Lift. It is episode number 5. Friday. We are feeling good. We are feeling all right. It is noon on Friday, December 12th today. We are just kicking it, hanging out, and we've got some news stories for you today. We got a social media ban possibility for kids under the age of 16. We've got dry brushing. Why does everyone keep talking about dry brushing? Does it work? Is it real? Or is it just nonsense, bro science? And finally, singing with other people. We'll talk about that. Talk about some mindset shifts that'll help you get through the holidays, because we all know how the holidays can be hard on the mind. And we'll also talk about just general wellness. I mean, today I'm getting ready because tomorrow I'm running a 5K. My son, who is 9 years old, has signed up for a 5K race that he's been practicing for, and he's now been able to run 5K at 9 years old, which I'm really proud of him. But he's signed up for a 5K, and they need a parent to go with him. And I obviously volunteered quickly. I was like, all right, I'll do it. 5K actually isn't too bad for me. I've done much further than that in the past, but I'm excited to go out there, run, see other people, get some positive vibes, positive feelings going on as we support a really good cause, which is called Let Me Run. And they support young men in trying to understand the world around them, in trying to become great young men, and in staying disciplined, healthy, active. Let Me Run is one of the coolest organizations I've seen, and I'm proud to be part of that 5K. I think it's going to be great. So, here we are, Friday. We made it. Thank God it's Friday, right? I'm going to break down a few news stories. Try to show up better as a better human being. And that self-improvement is what this show is all about. Now, let's dive into today's news story. So we got, first, singing with other people improves health more than singing alone. Very interesting, I think. I mean, we probably already knew this. Doing things with other people just in general tends to be the healthier option compared to doing things alone. The loneliness epidemic is a real thing. People feeling alone, like they don't have, people in their corner. Young men, most of them say, they don't have a real friend or someone they can call a real friend. Or they have maybe one, when in the past it used to be people had big groups of friends. And these days things have changed, especially for young men, and that's all I can really speak on because that's what I am. But other people are also going through loneliness, and it's difficult. So let's see here. The research, though not new, still makes a pretty darn good reason to join a caroling group or church choir for the holidays, or take New Year's Eve as an opportunity for some karaoke. Let's see. Human health is the most resilient when existing in accord with our species' evolutionary history. And, singing and belting out a song with our friends and family, or with people that we love around us, is one of the best things we can do. I mean, if you've never done it, that complete release and that feeling of feeling happy and healthy and being yourself in front of other people is so valuable, and it's really, really great for our health to just feel seen and feel heard and feel like you're part of a group. When you're alone all the time, you don't always have that, and it could be hard for some people. So I can't speak for all cultures of the world, but in the West, singing seems very much an extension of speech. I mean, we share messages and words and feelings through song and through singing. And so it's really, really interesting. I just thought this was a pretty cool one today. Singing with other people is actually more valuable than singing alone. So while singing is probably great either way, if you ever just listen to an amazing song and start singing it, you automatically smile. You can't help it. You feel good. You have that positive energy. But if you're singing with someone else, even better. Two people having that positive energy, it compounds on itself, and more people are able to feel the energy. Really cool stuff. Next positive story. Dry brushing. People swear by dry brushing, but does it really work? Let's see here. Kai Denise has a ritual. A few days a week, she takes out a hand-sized bristled brush before getting in the shower. So if you've never seen a dry brush, it is just it looks like maybe like a horse brush or something. Not too sure. Never had a horse, but it's like long bristles like this that are very close together. And you rub that on your skin, usually before the shower. Now this kind of releases your skin molecules. It kind of resets your skin, and it also allows the lymph nodes, especially here in your like upper collarbones, allows them to relieve pressure and to release and to also just get lymph flowing through those lymph nodes so that you can detoxify in a much better way. That's why so many people are talking about it. I've done it for years. I always tell my Lyme disease people at limewars.com that we need to use this dry brush in order to help the detoxification process, along with supporting the liver and supporting so many other aspects of health to get better from Lyme disease and co-infections. But this is one of the cool ones, one of the ones that stands out and that everybody talks about. And the brush costs like $10, and then you can have it for pretty much forever. So, this person says she noticed her skin looked brighter. 2 years into the routine, the clogged pores on her legs have cleared. She could have eczema flares, but when she uses this, she removes that as well. Obviously in patients with underlying skin conditions, it says to proceed cautiously. But the idea here is that, hang on, let me see here. These all feature variations of treating skin with rough fibers for smoothness and simulation. So lymphatic drainage there. Yeah, so as you can see here, dry brushing toward the heart services the lymphatic system, ushering fluid to the two major ducts under our collarbones. So this long-term lymphatic drainage benefits include improved immunity, digestion, energy, better sleep, according to the Cleveland Clinic. All really awesome stuff. So if you've never tried dry brushing, give it a try. What could go wrong here? We give ourselves a little bit of attention and focus. We give our body that little that focus, that energy for a period of time every day, and we see what happens. Do we feel a little bit better? Does it add to our routine? Does it make us feel good? Right? Trying things that could potentially have a positive impact on our health is almost never risky. It's always almost low risk and high reward. So you might as well try something like this that's natural, simple, and cheap to try. I personally do it. My family does it. We like it, and other people have tried it and had good results from it that I work with at limewars.com. So I always recommend this. My clients always use it, and we love it. So let's keep going. This one is really interesting. So the holidays can be stressful. It's Christmas, stressful. We've got the financial impact of it. We've got the travel impact of it. We've got the unhealthy foods and alcohol impact of it. And all of that stuff adds up, and it can be a lot. It could be a lot for someone who has chronic illness or a Lyme disease, or it could be a lot for just anybody. And so I did want to talk about a few things that I liked this article. I think it highlights a few key things that we can all think about during the holidays. So it says, pick 3 moments you want to be present for. You probably won't have the time and attention for everything on your to-do list, so shorten it down to the moments that matter to you the most. Maybe it is a Christmas morning or dinner with the family or the concert that you're attending. At that moment, show up as you can. Be present, be in the moment, and be there with your loved ones. Another thing is change your perspective. Instead of naming all the things you have to do this season, name what you get to do. For example, I get to make holiday cards. I get to hang out with my whole family. Instead of just thinking of it like chores and things to check off a checklist, if you could show up in such a more healthy, beneficial, and positive way if you just say you get to do these things, right? Not everybody has the ability to do half the things that we do during the holidays. So shifting how we perceive these activities can turn them from obligations into privileges. That's pretty cool. And then I like this one the most. This is kind of the whole crux of the entire post. Remember, everything is optional. While it may feel like you have to do every tradition on your list, you actually don't. If it's not bringing you joy, let it go. There's really no reason to do it. I mean, so often you see people that they get super stressed out over hitting their specific checklist of traditions that they do every single year. And it's like, okay, but why are you doing that tradition again? Like, it seems like you hate it. It seems like you have to wake up really early in the morning, drive your car super far, do a whole bunch of stuff you don't want to do. Maybe rethink that tradition. Maybe, just because it's tradition doesn't mean it needs to stay. Everything is optional. If you've been dragging your feet about sending out holiday cards, give yourself permission to do things a little differently this year. And, if you don't want to go cut down that live tree and go through all the work of getting that live Christmas tree, maybe get a fake one. Like, cut yourself some slack. Let yourself do what's easier, what's better for you in the moment today, rather than sticking to traditions that have constantly served you over the last few years, but now feel old and unnecessary and are kind of just bogging you down. And again, evaluate expectations. Think about the expectations or beliefs you have for yourself and your family during the holidays. And if you're often left with a feeling of disappointment or like it wasn't good enough, maybe make more realistic expectations. Oftentimes it's been said that happiness is the gap between your expectations and reality, right? If your expectations are super low and then something great happens, then that is happiness. That is a surprise in a good way, a healthy, happy surprise. But if your expectations are really high and you can never meet them, you'll feel that gap in between your expectations and your reality as unhappiness. And so oftentimes it's really, really easy to be happier by simply doing one thing and one thing only, lowering your expectations about things that will happen in your life. If you just say, well, yeah, whatever, if any upside is a positive, then boom, you'll be set up for that positive upside every time. So these mindset shifts really can help people get through the holidays, especially if they're feeling anxious or they're having all types of problems or they're just finding it really difficult to get through, whether they're lonely or whether they're just tired of spending a ton of money to kind of keep their family and friends healthy and happy during the holidays. So I hope this resonates. If it does, let me know. Hit the comments, hit the chat button, the chats. I'm here to help you see the positive, see the light in the world as we go through this day. So if you're here, always interact with me. I love interacting with you. That's the whole reason I go live every single day. So far, it's been a little slow. Not going to lie. Today's the 5th day that I've done this, gone live at 12 noon to try and share some positive stories, some mindset shifts, and some self-improvement with the world. So if you're here, keep showing up because I'm going to keep showing up. And I would love this to snowball into something big where we're touching hundreds of people or thousands of people or whatever it turns into. I'm all for it. I just want to reach people and help them, get through the rest of their day and think about positive things instead of being bogged down by all the negative news stories that exist out there and all the stuff that could be holding you back. But next we got Australia has done something a little bit new, a little interesting. We've got Australia's bold move to ban kids under 16 from social media sparks important global debate. So people are talking about this. Everyone wants to know, what should we do? Is this a good idea? Is this a bad idea? Should our children be allowed to use social media under the age of 16? Maybe this should be a worldwide ban. Maybe this should be thought of here in the United States. What do you think? I want to know your thoughts are, and then I'll tell you my thoughts. It says a radical response to growing harm. Let's see, this year that painted a troubling pictures of kids' online lives. 96% of children aged 10 to 15 were using social media, and 70% had been exposed to harmful content, including misogyny, violence, and material promoting suicide and eating disorders. Now, personally, I'm a father. I have 2 kids, and they are 9 and 13, right? So this is right in my wheelhouse. I'm constantly thinking about social media and what my kids are being exposed to and how we can control that, or at least minimize the risks involved with that, or at least explain to them openly and candidly how things in the world really are, without them just being constantly consumed and brainwashed by technology and by the social media that exists out there. So what this ban actually does is children under 16 can no longer create or maintain social media accounts across 10 platforms, including TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, and Twitch. So if you're under 16, you won't be able to get on social media in Australia on all of those platforms. So the law doesn't punish children or parents. Instead, the burden falls entirely on social media companies, who must take reasonable steps to keep under 16s off their platforms or face fines of up to $49.5 million. So really interesting. It's not necessarily going to be aimed at the kids themselves or the parents. It's aimed at the companies to make it impossible for kids to access the apps. Really interesting way to do it. Why critics say this policy is flawed? Well, despite good intentions, critics worry the rollout may backfire. Facial recognition is notoriously unreliable for teens, and they fear the law will block adults by mistake. Okay, so they're worried that people that aren't under 16 will get blocked from these apps. It takes Meta about an hour and 52 minutes to make $50 million in revenue. Others point, that's a good point right there, because if it costs $50 million to make this change for the social media company, they might just eat that. They might just say, all right, here's $50 million. Now anybody can go on the app. Or they might just say, oh, we tried to make it so people under 16 couldn't go on, but they got on anyway. Here's $50 million. I just made that in an hour. Not a big deal. So $50 million is kind of a drop in the bucket for a giant $1 trillion company like Meta, for example. Now, platform pushback and privacy concerns. It says tech companies weren't shy about their frustration. YouTube's parent company, Google, called the new law rushed and warned it may make kids less safe by removing access to safety tools built into accounts. That's an interesting take. Overall, it's going to look untidy. France is debating a curfew for teens on social media. Spain and Norway are exploring new restrictions. And here in the United States, we seem to just let our kids do whatever they want on these social media apps. I'm wondering what you think. I kind of think that banning social media might be a good thing. They're not only exposed to harmful content, but they're could be exposed to harmful people. There's so many stories of people actually luring kids in and trying to harm them after meeting them on social media, which is absolutely horrific and disgusting and not okay. And I think about it all the time as a father. So let's make some changes. Let's do something about this. Let's start thinking about our world and what we're going to do here in the United States about social media apps, if anything. What do you think? Hit me in the comments. I want to know your opinion because I'm just interested. I want to see what people are thinking. I'll even put a poll up for this video as well. I do that. I've been doing that every day. I'm going to hit the poll right here. Start a poll. Should social media apps be banned for under 16-year-olds? I started the poll. Let's see what happens with that. Let's see what kind of results come in. I'm interested to hear what everybody thinks. So those were the news stories that I had lined up today. Again, just real quick recap. We've got singing with other people improves our health more than singing alone. So while you might love singing in the shower, maybe invite a friend next time. No. But obviously this points to Christmas caroling and getting out there singing for other people and joining that church choir group and all that fun stuff. Next, we have dry brushing. Is it a hoax? Does it work? Does it not work? What is it? How do you do it? Well, it only costs about $10. You can get a little brush and you can brush your skin. It does help to open up the lymph nodes and promotes lymphatic drainage, which is great for detoxification and feeling healthy every single day, especially if you have Lyme disease and co-infections. And, I'm always helping those specific people over at limewars.com. And, check out a dry brush, see if it helps you, see how you feel after trying that out and helping out those detox pathways. I gave you 4 mindset tips that could help you during holiday stress. And let's not lie, holidays can be stressful, especially Christmas when we're trying to focus on getting everybody presents and, organizing everything, making everything work, and the travel and the everything. It can be a lot. It's a lot for a lot of people. And so, these mindset shifts really can help. Remember, everything is optional. Change your perspective. Pick 3 moments you want to be absolutely present for and show up. Be there with your family and enjoy the holidays. Make it a conscious, intentional choice to show up and enjoy instead of just being forced, to do things or, kind of saying like, well, this is what we always did, so let's just do it, or being forced to do things. Neither of those things are very good either. And then finally, Australia's bold move to ban kids under 16 from social media sparks important global debate. And this is really just up in the air. I mean, some people I could understand why you would want to ban social media. It's led to so many issues around the world, including suicide rates going through the roof, especially in young girls. And so let's talk about this. Let's be open about this and let's figure this out, right? There's a reason it's being debated. It's because it's on everybody's mind already. And Australia decided to do something about it. So who's next? And what will happen next? That's the question. And I don't have the answer. I'm just reporting what everybody's thinking about. And I'm asking you what you think. Because let's get a consensus about the public, the real public, what we think together, rather than, just letting institutions figure all this stuff out. Let's get our feet on the ground and figure out what real live people think about this and take it from there. So those are the 4 stories I had today. Now it's time to move into today's meditation. Let's see here. All right, removed that. And of course, this is The Daily Laws by Robert Greene. I think you should go buy this book. This is an amazing book. I don't know Robert Greene. I have no affiliation with him. I have no reason to say this other than I love this book and I read it every single day to get my daily meditation. Now, I did not read today's yet. I have no idea what it is. I'm going to be reading it for the very first time with you here. But I'll say this, December is devoted to the cosmic sublime, which Robert Greene calls the cosmic sublime, which is basically realizing that we're not just, realizing we're more than just this moment in time, realizing that we're bigger than just ourselves, realizing that we're on a world, right? We're on a ball floating through the sky in a universe that has lots of balls floating through the sky. And there's billions of people just like us on this earth, that we're potentially connected to all of that, and that we have a role in this universe. The cosmic sublime is what Robert Greene's talking about. So let's see what we have in store today, December 12th. It is Friday. I hope everyone's ready for an absolutely amazing weekend. Let me just get this page open here. Okay, December 12th. It says, life and death. Oof, starting off with some heaters. We are afraid of the old age, which we may never attain. Whew. Okay, that one hits, right? I mean, dang. Coming out swinging. We're afraid of the old age, which we may never attain. So sometimes people are afraid of getting old and moving into their old age, but they might not ever even get there. So they're afraid of nothing. They're afraid of something that they may or may not ever even reach. It says, we can describe the contrast between life and death in the following manner. Death is absolute stillness, without movement or change except decay. In death, we are separated from others and completely alone. Life, on the other hand, is movement, connection to other living things, and diversity of life forms. By denying and repressing the thought of death, we feed our anxieties and become more death-like from within. Separated from other people, our thinking habitual and repetitive with little overall movement and change. On the other hand, the familiarity and closeness with death, the ability to confront the thought of it, has the paradoxical effect of making us feel more alive. So the daily law, summarized, by connecting to the reality of death, we connect more profoundly to the reality and fullness of life. By separating death from life and repressing our awareness of it, we do the opposite. Whoa. What an interesting passage. So basically what that's saying is the more we pretend death doesn't exist, the more we just focus on life, the more we live less life, right? And that reminds me of something. I'm going to grab it. Hang on one second. You may have seen this on the wall behind me. I got this a while back. It says Memento Mori, which means, it says on the bottom here, is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Life is long enough and has been given in sufficiently generous measure to allow the accomplishment of the very greatest gifts if the whole of it is well invested. So basically this is 80 years altogether. These squares each represent 1 week. So it shows how many weeks are in 80 years. And so you basically color in a week each time a week passes, and you're basically counting down until you get to 80 years. And so this kind of reminds me that I'm on my way to death. I mean, there's no nice way to say it. And that might be a little dark for some people. That might be a little bit seem like twisted or weird to have that up on your wall and to think about death. But as Robert Greene pointed out, reflecting on death does make us feel more alive. It reminds us that there's not unlimited time here on this earth, that we have to get things done, that we have to move forward, that we have to try things, that we have to experience the world, that we have to connect with others, that we have to take risks and take chances and show up and have that spark, that energy inside of us, and make things happen. So hopefully this inspires you, gives you a little bit of juice today. You remember that you're here for a reason. You've got a life and you can't waste it. Because all of our lives lead to one place and one place only, and that is death. And that is a little bit dark of a feeling, a little bit dark of an idea and a thought, but it's important to have that thought at the same time as all the other positive, helpful thoughts. Because otherwise, it's hard to be grateful. It's hard to slow down. It's hard to, really implement things and really be intentional with our thoughts, our words, our life, our time. But when we have that, when we have our time and we have the idea that death does come for all of us, we can then slow down. We can be more intentional. We can be more thoughtful. We can be more helpful. We can be a better friend. We can be a better husband. We can be a better father. We can be a better mother. We can be a better whatever, right? We can be better version of ourselves. And if you like to become a better version of yourself, you are in the exact right place for Lunchtime Lift. That is what we do here every day, 12 noon. We show up. We try to become a better version of ourselves. We look at positive forms of news throughout the world. We try and see what's going on that can inspire us, that can make us feel good, that can give us energy, that can allow us to thrive throughout the rest of the day. Then we show up, crush the rest of the day. And we do this every day so that our afternoons aren't just a slump, a downward hill into the weekend or into, the nighttime dinner and routine and all that. Instead, we get amped up, we get energized, we get excited, we get inspired during this lunchtime hour. And that allows us to really enjoy a little piece of life and to stay happy, stay positive, stay thinking of the world in a positive light, rather than always focusing on what's wrong and what's going wrong in the world, which is so easy to do. Of course, there's things that can be better. There's always things that can be better. But trying to really focus on what's already good and being grateful for those things can make such an impact on the rest of your life. So I go live every day to try and share the things that are going right in the world, the good, the positive, the helpful, the friendly. And hopefully it inspires you to give back or to do something nice for somebody else today. So thank you so much, and I hope you have an excellent weekend, an excellent rest of your Friday. I haven't decided if I'm going to go live on Saturday yet, but as I say it in my mind, I'm like, just go live. Like, I'm just going to continue going live because I want to share this positivity, these good news stories, and inspire other people, and share the meditations from the daily laws every day, because not only is it helpful for me, it'll be helpful for other people as well. So thank you so much. My name is Ryan Kearns. I'll see you in the next episode, which should be tomorrow, 12 noon, lunchtime lift. This is episode 5 already, so hopefully you're keeping up. And if not, you can always go back and watch old episodes if you want to. And if not, that's fine too. Just show up with me here live and we can chat. Put your name in the chat, where you're from, what you're looking for, how we can support you, and how, what kind of stories you want to see. And your thoughts about these stories and connecting with us really does help shape what we create moving forward. So we will create this together. This is not a one-way road. It's a two-way street. Anyway, all that being said, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. And let's roll out with a little bit of music.
Sky's blue so bright, every move a spark, every step ignite. Golden hour glow, yeah, I'm taking flight. Yeah, inbox full of good news, headlines shine. Local hero, new garden, yo, that's divine. Scrolling home, every story redesigned. Timeline detox, clearing up the mind.
All right. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Ryan Kearns. Hit subscribe on your